morning, Vietnam. Vietnam's over that way somewhere. Past Palawan, over that way. Wow, look how nice that is. Welcome to my pool. Woo. That's a piece of driftwood right there, I think. Wow, look at that. It's even clearer out deep. Watch it way out there. Oh my gosh. See that? Oh, how clear that is. Wow, nice. Good morning, Vietnam. A chicken clucking woke me up this morning. Right outside my window down here, I looked out the bathroom and he was right there. It was a hen. She was right there. Clucking, she might have laid an egg right around there. So I took the wife to work and there was a checkpoint down there. And I just got reminded about the registration and everything. But when you buy a new car, the registration is good for 3 years. So I bought this in February 22. So it's good until February 25. On the other hand, this, I got the last registration in June. And by the plate number, it's the last week in June. So the last number tells you what month, 6, and then the number right before that tells you what part of the month, so it staggers the people going to the LTO, which is like the DMV in Virginia. So somebody's going to take it for me because I never been through the rigmarole, but I got to get insurance, and you got to get a smoke test, insurance, and then you get the registration. But she knows, my wife's friend knows somebody at the LTO, so she can get it done fast. But as you see, my last little spill down there at the bridge where you got to go around the bridge and go down in the rocks. When it fell down, you see, I drove off a cliff too one time, but the last time I wrecked, I broke this mirror off. So that's what I'm going to work on today, because get the registration, they check a few things. They get the smoke test thing, and then they look at, it's like an inspection to make sure your signals work, you got mirrors and all that. So I'm going to jury rig this mirror. I've been wanting to do that anyway because I need this mirror. So that's what I'm working on today. When you got a motorcycle, car, and a house, there's always something to do. There's a million other things to do, like my chicken pen. I'm going to work on that if I can get this done. Yeah, Vietnam is not going to help me on this one. Anyway, let me get to work on this. Let me get a cup of coffee first. So here's the problem. It broke off, it's pop metal, and it broke off in there, so it can't be welded. It's left-handed threads. Can't find anything without ordering it. You have to order this whole piece internally in there. You see it, but I'm gonna try to just jury rig it. This is the piece that broke off. Like I said, left-handed threads. Instead of just epoxying it, I found out I put that mark right there that lines up with that screw. That's where it was setting originally. Because it's uneven under there. You can see that. It's uneven on the bottom. So I got it aligned with this mark, that screw, so that I can line it up when I get epoxy on there. But I'm not only going to epoxy it. I'm going to turn it sideways like this. I'm going to drill a hole at an angle through there, and maybe one on this side too. And maybe all the way through, it's a slight angle all the way through the other side, because I don't need this whole length. And then at an angle through the other side into that body down there. Then I'll just break off a drill, which I got a bunch of them. You see there. Got a bunch of them, see right there. I'll just break one off the right length. Then I'll epoxy it, rotate it in the right place down there, and then drive this drill in there, tap the drill in there through the holes I pre-drilled. That'll give it something to stabilize it. It'd be easy if I had a drill press and a vise. I do have a vise downstairs I could hold this with. Yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll go down to the vise. Play it safe. So that's the preliminary plan. Then epoxy it, and then wrap some of this black tape I got right here around it, and then slide this rubber piece that goes down over there so they can't see it. Plus, on the mirror, it's got this locking nut, so I'll screw it down in there when the epoxy, and then I'll put some epoxy on this too. Then I'll run it down in there and lock down the nut on this nut, and then it'll be in place. So all I got to do is adjust this top mirror right there to get my look back there. And then I'll slide this rubber piece right there down over top of this to hide it from the people, from the inspectors. Plus underneath that, I'll have that black tape right there. So I thought about it, I checked something. This thread right there actually goes, there's a thread and a half left in there. You can see it. So instead of drilling down in there, if I drill down through the side of this, I won't be able to screw that down into that 1.5 threads. So I'm going to try to count on that 1.5 threads and the epoxy to hold everything in place. That's the new plan. So wish me luck. So instead of the first idea, to interfere with the threads, I made this slot in the outside of it. So that way I could drill a hole straight down, and at least that will give it some support. It cannot spin now. Once it gets locked in, it cannot spin. So I will drill a hole straight down. After I get it epoxied in there, I would drill it straight down and put this pin in there so it cannot turn. It'll give it a little bit of support. Plus I'll epoxy this pin in there too to fill in those gaps where I didn't have a ball mill and a milling machine to make it perfect. Whenever you're working on something, nothing ever works out right. So when I screw this nut onto there, to be able to epoxy it to there, those threads will not reach that. So I got to cut some of the length off of this on the flat side to be able to reach those threads down for support into that 1.5 threads down there. So I don't need all this nut anyway, that's 1.5 threads. This is going to be extra. So it don't need that length. I could tell you by that diameter and that length, it doesn't need this length. There's a formula for that. I forget what it is, but this is way too much. See, the spider is still protecting my work area. So, you run into one problem after another when you try to do something. So, I changed my mind. I want to pin it and cut that off. But you see where my vise is. I brought that from America in a box. So I got to undo that. This fell down because of the weight. My wife is calling. So by the time I get all my stuff together, get the plan all set straight, do a little bit of work. It's lunchtime already. So I had to bring my important stuff in here from outside. You know, I just decided I have to get my vise and use that and drill all the way through to everything and pin it after I get it epoxy. I'll epoxy it, pin it, and then put more epoxy on it all at the same time so that the pin is holding it where it's going to be and the epoxy is going to lock it in place. So there's your toolbox that I traded with you there, Kevin. Not the minion Kevin, a Kevin I used to work with. So my wife called to make lunch, so hi, it is what it is. Hey babe, I'm going to get Mom. It's 11:30. I'm going to go get her to eat lunch. She's going to make lunch. So maybe you should get up. Magnificent stairs. I just came from the magnificent hallway and the magnificent daughter. And my daughter's 11:30. She's not feeling good today. So, off to see the wifey, the wonderful wifey of ours. What the heck is that? What's in the water out there, man? What in the world? Flotsam. So it's in the air, be jetsam. Something like that. Junk that fell out of the river, probably. Oh, my wife got a little pineapple. Oh, this thing smells good. You should smell that. Fresh pineapple and fresh dragon fruit. Look at that. Ooh. And some strawberries. Yeah. All fresh too, not set, you know, picked raw and turned ripe in a truck or something like that. No, right off the vine. So I'm gonna mount this vise on this table since I work here all the time. This is not an optimum table, but this is not an optimum operation. I'm going to use these screws to lock it in place. Ouch. Kind of just screw it down. The screw is smaller than the hole, so I'm gonna put 2 of them in there. Like I said, this is not optimal. Not an optimum operation. It's like I'm running out of juice. Ooh. see. Well, it's locked down good enough if it's doing that. There we go. We got a vise. All right, that was all so I could drill this thing. Oh, here it is. Well, just want to cut this off. But I got that screwed in there because I don't want to crush it either. It's just pot metal. Where's my cutter? Didn't bring it. Be back. Handy dandy safety glasses. Am I filming? Yes, I am. Handy dandy safety glasses. In this instance, I'm not going to use this shield for the 4-inch grinder because I can't see, and so that's more dangerous. I deem that more dangerous than I got safety glasses on, so I don't care if it hits me in the cheek. Glad I stopped myself because I don't want to cut that side of the nut. That's the side that's uneven, that fits down where it seats good on the uneven part that it broke off of. You get my drift. Yeah, man. Hey. What? So this is that deburring tool I was telling you about. It just goes in there and you go around like that and it takes the burr off of the threads. Like so. Oh yeah, worked good too. Look at that. Because this is carbide tip. So whatever you're deburring, it's not as hard as this. So that worked fine. You can see, put a chamfer on the inside if you can see that. Try to focus on it, see that chamfer? Yep. So there it is. That's the pre-fit. You know, I didn't pin it or epoxy it or anything yet. Just checking to make sure that that will work. See how it went in that thread and a half, like that's why I cut that off. And so I'll show you. See, it's just only a thread and a half. But see how it's sticking out now so that you got something to thread it in there with. I might grind just a little bit more off of there to make sure that it went all the way down. And to give it more epoxy space for the epoxy to go in there. Yeah, I'll cut a little bit more off. 16. This looks good. Wow, I'm hot from working earlier. I'm gonna have a nice fresh pineapple and dragon fruit. All those colors. Oh, it's almost Viking purple almost. Oh, that's Packer yellow, yikes. So instead of the mountain and valleys I was talking about, I decided to make this part flat, this face flat. Now I gotta go down in there and make that flat. So the only thing I had was this grinder wheel. So it's the only thing that'll fit down in that hole. I don't want to take much, just a little bit to make it flat so that will mate on there good. So, and I don't want to take away that 1.5 that I have down there. I don't want to take away any of it. So that's target. See if I can get down. Oh yeah, I can do it. Okay. Like I said, just a little bit. That's all I need. Oh. It did a little bit, but. It's taking off that, I don't know if you can see that shiny in there, but that's what it's doing, taking off the mountain. There's a pretty big mountain to take off of there. Maybe I should have just left it, but it's too late now. So you can see it's not flat yet. It's getting there. If I get like 4 points, that'll be good enough. And the grooves, some compound will go in between there. The epoxy. If I mix up the epoxy, it'll have some grooves to go in between and bind it. Plus I'll put a chamfer on the bolt, the other side. I'll put a chamfer to help it. You see it's almost around. Towards me is a low area. A little bit more. Like I said, I don't want to take away all my thread. Let me check that. If this ever fails, this is just going to be to get it through inspection. If this fails, I'll just buy another assembly. The inner part. I don't know, it's probably 50 bucks or something, I don't know. But better to have a mirror. It's pretty flat. Yeah. It doesn't wiggle around like before. I think that's good enough. Uh-oh, don't drop it down there, Rodney. Whew. Oh yeah. So, now, let me check to see where the thread will be at and how far this has to be screwed before it's going to fit on there. I don't know if I can. Uh-oh. My camera's going to be in the way. Just barely. But it is, of course. So, come around to this side. Rock with me, baby. So, there you go. That's a little bit more is all I needed. That's where I need it. I want to screw that nut down to it. So, get something to stick that in that hole. Now if I screw this nut down to where that's at, it'll be what I want, because see it's screwing around. It's went around more than half a turn already. I want it to meet that surface down there. Wait a minute. Did I put a chamfer on there yet? Yeah, I won't be able to do that later. So I gotta do that now. Yeah, there's no chamfer. I gotta do that before I do this. Because when I lock it in, I don't want to move it. I just want to drill it, and then I'm gonna have to go downstairs with the unless I can put a chamfer on there with this. That's not gonna be optimal. Yeah, it's not optimal. Oh, I got something else now. It is optimal. Change my bit over to this carbide bit. Hard. I can make a chamfer with that. There is a chamfer on one side. Yeah. Just use that, Rodney. Just that one I had it on there backwards. That's what it was. Okay. Everything's kosher. Wait a minute. That's all right. All right, let's screw this on there again. Left-handed thread, so unscrew it. That right. Now, I screw it in. Oh yeah, gotta unscrew it to screw it in. Oh, there it goes. There it goes. And there it is. That's the spot. That's the G spot. Okay. Okay, now I gotta screw it backwards again. Okay. So I just need to screw that down now. Good thing I got that little groove in there. It's coming in handy. Yep. So I'll lock that down with the faces touching. Then I will lock this other nut down on it. Then when I unscrew it, it'll be in the right place. I just got to screw the whole thing back in to make it right. That's more than one turn so far. So that's 1.5. And then I think it might be tight. Yeah, it's tight now. Right. Now I'm gonna lock this one down. See, I'd like to have I might have a wrench here. Get a pair of pliers to snug that down. Let me see. Keys, running keys. All right. I think that's a 1/2 inch. So I brought the 1/2 inch. Oh, or I thought it was 9/16 if that was, and I'm right. So go this way, lock it in. That's it. So that's where I want to go. So that's the 3.5 right there. I don't know if you can see that good. That's where I want to drill. Drill, baby, drill. So it's gonna be around right there. So right at the top of there, down, all the way down. It's gonna be hard to do. That's why I need that vise down there. So I need something to run a flat one there. Where's it at? It's set. At a steep angle. Wow. There it is again. Right on that flat. Straight down through there. Down. Come out that flat that's the most even with this to the right of that corner, that one. So right down in there, right down in there. Okay. Go down to the drilling table. Take you with me. So, if you never drilled a hole before through a couple things, I suggest that you use some cutting oil. But if you don't have cutting oil, anything will do. Any oil will do. Just put some used motor oil in there, like I'm doing. Anything to cool the drill down to keep from burning it up. So. You know, the pot metal's not that hard, but the the stem of this mirror is pretty hard. And also, if you want to maintain the hole size, like I'm going to use a pin in here, I don't want it to be a different size, so I want to use the drill that I drill it with for the pin, so I'm putting a pilot hole in there first. And don't be shy with the oil. Otherwise, these little drills, they won't last long. And they're hard to sharpen, little teeny drills. There you go. Oh, my aim is perfect. That's right where I wanted it. I want to come out and dig and drill down in the other side, so I will take this up there, screw it in, and go in that same hole and pin it to the body of the bike. So like I said, that's a pilot hole. I wonder if, you know, because if the drill wobbles around, it will make a bigger hole than the drill is. No, it's not big enough, so it's just going to give it some strength, this pin, because the epoxy is pretty good, but it's really no strength like a pin to hold it. And then I'll put a little pin, and when you're doing the final drill, drill it fast with as fast as feed as possible. So push it as fast as you can to get it through there. If you know what I mean. It will leave more metal in there if you do that. You don't want to sit there and wobble around. Okay? Because you're just going to make the hole too big. If it's a really critical hole, then you just drill it with a pilot drill like I did, or ream it. Drill it with a hole about 3 to 5 thousandths too small, and then ream it. Ream the rest out with a ream. Ooh. The drill wouldn't tighten up. Hey, man. Gotta be like this. I went too fast with the feed. That's what happened. Too fast again. It's a Philippine drill, so it's not very good. It's probably Chinese. The drill slipped again. But I don't really want to. I could sharpen them. I might have to if they won't go through there. Unbelievable, man. Drilled it won't drill. I'm gonna go get an American drill. That first pilot drill was an American drill. So here's the number 34 drill. It's a little smaller than 1/8, but maybe the Chinese drill can drill 2 or 3 thousandths out of there. I'm quite sure this will work better than that did. Hopefully that one didn't just harden the surface. Because when it doesn't drill and you just drill it there, it makes the metal harder. Look at that. America, baby. Okay, now this Chinese drill might work. Because it's only going to take a couple thou out of there. Nope. What the heck, man? There you go. Because I didn't want to cut my American drill. Okay. To keep this, then all I got to do is drill a little bit into the body of the bike and then cut this Chinese drill and tap it in there. It should go right in there, the body, but yeah, it needs to be tapped. Oh, yeah. Tapped in there. Plus, you know, the epoxy. So these are 2 of American drills. Boom, boom. Keep those separate from the Chuck E. Chinese drill. Chuck E. Cheese drill. I'm just gonna put this Chinese drill in the container here before I get it mixed up with the good drills. These Chinese drills, they can you can drill like a 10 sheet with them because you barely got anything to do. But if you're gonna drill metal, not really. Not really good to the oil. They used to use the oil for the forms, to rub on the forms, so the concrete wouldn't stick to them. So I saved that when I did my car maintenance. They asked you, do you want to keep your oil, used oil? And I always said, yeah. Then used drilling the forms, double use. But I don't know what I'm gonna do with this one. What's that? Seemed like a lot of work just to do a little bit, don't it? That's how it is sometimes. So, like I told you earlier, I changed my mind about the mountains and the valleys. But you see that face of this that I just drilled. You know, the drill literally, you know, I wanted this mating face, the silver mating face right here on my fingernail was mountains and valleys, but I changed my mind and wanted it flat on both of them. So I did that, and I wanted to drill this hole through from there at an angle down through here to the bottom so that it would mate with the body in there, so that I could drill down inside that body that's outside of the thread hole there. And so I did that, and look how good I did it. It's coming out right there on that face. It's going to go right into that face right there that's in the middle of the screen on the inside here. It's going to go right into that body part, and then right behind there there's some meat, but on this side over here there's none. And I didn't want to drill up into there, this part, because it looks like some other kind of mechanicisms up there. So just wanted to go in that body part right there with the pin hole. So, but in doing that good, I did that perfect, but see that burr. You do something, something else always happens. That burr is gonna, you see I only got a thread and a half there to screw in to help with the stability, and I'm gonna have this pin and the epoxy. But that burr is gonna stop it from going all the way down. So, voila, had to break out my diamond files, my diamond jeweler files. I was ready for you this time. So, everything's working out. I just wanted to work good. I don't feel like buying a new mirror, dang it. It's like 50 bucks or something probably. Don't try that at home. That's my pen. Pen is still warm. Whew. Now I just got to deburr it a little bit. You notice how the sparks were going down. If you put it on the other side, they'll go right in your face. So, something to keep in mind. So now, I'm all ready. I got my punch, got my pen, got the holes. Let me make a little guide to go in there. Put a little chamfer on there so it got it into the hole there a little bit. I don't want to put it in there yet though, but I see that it will go in there. So there you go. I want to flatten my punch out a little bit for later, so that if I've been punching too much with it, it's got a lot of when you're grinding a tool, never push real hard on it or leave it on or grind it too long so that it heats up. If it turns brown, you done ruin the tensile strength of the metal. So it's got to maintain its silver color the whole time you're grinding it. Same thing with drills. So if you grind it, it turns blue or brown or any other color besides the color it was, you mess it up. It's no longer hard. You already softened all the metals. It's worthless. As a punch, it'd be worthless. So now I'm going to take this off and mix my epoxy. Ready for the epoxy mix. It's my epoxy right here on the car. Can you see me? Am I filming? It's not straight though. I don't like it. Okay. I like how this is working out. And I wasn't doing nothing today, so grass is cut and everything. Save $50, man. Why not? I can do it. So I got some newspaper here. I'm just going to mix the epoxy on 50-50. I don't really need a yin-yang amount of it. This is El Capitan. I'm going to have to make sure I mix up enough that we've got plenty of it. That should be more than half enough. So, get the kicker. Get the kick. Ooh, I laid my lid on there. My car, man. Stay on the newspaper, Rodney. Okay. I don't want to dip this harder down in the other kicker part, so I got to clean my stir stick. Better to have two, but wasn't thinking, and I ain't walking down there to get nothing either. Unless I have something around here. I don't have anything. Could be alright. Approximately. A little bit more. It's about 50-50. Call that good. Got that machine's eye. Just mix that up real good. El Capitan. Epoxy. 2-part epoxy. Okay. It's the right color. So I'm going to be real liberal with this stuff. Going down in that hole I drilled with a pin and in those threads down there so that all that has some on it. If I can get it to come off of there. I'm gonna have to stick it on there with my finger. Oh my God. Didn't want to do that, but it is what it is. Oh yeah, there's plenty in there. And on the face of that too. Then I'm gonna put some on here. Plenty of it. On that thread that screws down there, the whole face of that, and everything. Oh yeah. I don't want to step on that, man. Okay. That's good. Okay, go counterclockwise with this thing. Now all I gotta do is get this thing screwed in there before it dries. Oh, not the first turn. No, tell me it's not true. Okay. All right, where's my pen? Where's my punch? Here's my punch. Here's my pen. And here's my hammer. And there's my chamfer. Oh, want to roll just a little bit of that in there. Oh yeah. Perfect. Perfecto. Oh. How did that? Come on, man. What are you doing like that? Come on, where's the hole? There you are. Okay. Love it when a good plan comes together. Can't unscrew it now. I'm not unscrewing it, we'll be screwing it in. The pin is in. The pin is in, buddy. Because it's only 1.5 threads. So if it wasn't in there, I wouldn't be able to. I could just, if the pin wasn't in there, I could just unscrew it really easy. Now there's no sense in wasting this epoxy. There is no sense in wasting it. So I'm gonna go down in there, just epoxy the heck out of it. Get a rag and clean my motorcycle off in a minute. I want to cram it all down in there so it's got no room to... More. That's my friend Hal used to say, more. If you were taking a cut, he'd go, more. So, dang, Hal, that's a lot. More. That's how he got to become a supervisor. He kept telling everybody, more, cut faster. He's my friend Hal. He's retired now too. So, how you doing, Hal? Shout out to the man. So that's enough epoxy. That's plenty. Probably going to be more sturdier than it ever was. So let me get a rag of some sort, wipe the excess off. Why? Oh yeah, got it. Beast from the east. Call me the beast from the east. East Virginia, that is. All right. I used to make aircraft carrier shafts. Now I fix motorcycle mirrors that I wrecked. Life is what it is. This is way much funner than making an aircraft carrier shaft. It pays less, you know, I only saved like $50 doing that right there, but it's okay. Take me a long time to make an aircraft carrier shaft. from the rough probably take me a couple months from a blank. Okay, that's all, folks.